Hi, Vish.
I
Do you have to get so awkward? Welcome to the first episode of Vishay and Nidhi review stuff. Thank you for putting the name up. That's what our channel is going to be called. And as you can see, it's going to be a mega hit channel. So here's what we do. Okay, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Nidhi.
I'm a husband, Vishay.
Yes. And we have a lot to say about many things. So we decided to put it up on YouTube. And the world partake in our views.
Yes, that I agree with. Now that we are 40 plus, I feel we have earned the right to voice every thought that comes in our mind
Yes.
about people, places, and everything.
Art,
Hence,
cinema, books,
yes,
roads, clothes,
yes,
anything and everything.
yes. So
Right?
we guarantee you, you will get an unfiltered, politically incorrect, no bias, no threat, and under no obligation to anyone in this world, a very straightforward review of whatever we choose to talk about.
Okay, great. And just so everyone knows, it's called Vishay and Nidhi review stuff, not because he's more important, but because my
Uh,
name is very common. So I thought it'll be easier to find us by typing in Vishay and Nidhi on the YouTube app or whatever. So that's the only reason. There should be no mistake as to who wears the
hey,
pants
we
in
should we should call it Raras.
Raras. It's so nice.
Rara.
And you made such a nice background also. So
Yes.
now it's all set. Now
Thank you.
we can't create another background.
Yes.
Okay, so without much ado, let's get into the first thing that we're going to be reviewing today. Today is the 12th of January 2025. Happy New Year to all who celebrate. Although, like I read on Instagram, someone wrote, it's no longer new and it was never really happy. So, whatever.
No,
Yeah,
no, be
nothing to
more
say.
positive.
Oh, we're going to be positive.
At least in the new year. Not about the things that we talk about. Yeah.
But just about
Uh,
our prospects in general.
hmm.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
Right. So sorry, we keep getting waylaid by our own brilliance. Back to the topic of the today of today. Sorry.
I speak very well English.
Okay, listen, we're not going to judge each other on slip-ups that happen on camera.
बड़ा पॉडकास्ट करना था अंग्रेजी में करो.
Okay. Yes,
Yes.
I do speak very well English. So, no, on the topic of today is a movie that Vishay and I watched recently called The Holdovers. A beautiful cinematic masterpiece, which was, I think, nominated for a few Oscars. And since we are just happy to review anything that we saw recently, that's what we're going to start with. Again, full disclosure, I'm the one who's actually watched it fully. Visha, have you seen the whole movie?
Yes, yes. I mean, yes.
You
Enough to
have
review.
enough
Yes.
to review.
I just missed maybe 15, 20 minutes in the middle.
So that's not a problem for you. You don't need the whole content.
No, no, not at all. A
So
beautiful movie. Lovely.
that
Great watch for a Sunday afternoon after
Okay,
you've
so
had a
listen, no,
nice
one sec.
heavy lunch.
We have a format. The movie is called The Holdovers. It released in 2023. It is directed by Alexander Payne, and it stars Paul Giamatti, Dominic Sessa, Carrie Preston, and Davine Joy Randolph, who I thought was amazing. And we saw this on Geo Cinema.
She's the one.
She
Huh?
plays
Who you thought was amazing.
plays the cook. Yes.
Ah, yes, she was amazing. Amazing. Really. I
Okay.
mean, looking at her, you'll never think that acting, she will ever
Vishay.
become an actor, but she's amazing. I'm saying she's amazing.
Hmm, just
Hmm.
hmm. So anyway, let's start with the initial thoughts. What did you think of the movie, The Holdovers?
Very different, actually, a very good story. I really like the pace, the setting, and obviously great actors. And the best part is, there was no like cliche moments, of these
Okay.
breakthrough in relationships or a sudden change in a
Do you want
person's
to give a
nature.
brief? summary of what happens? Like, what's it about?
You go
Without
ahead. You
giving
go
any
ahead.
spoilers? Oh, should I?
Carry on. Yeah, carry on.
So, it's set in a boys' residential school in 1970. It looks like it's somewhere in the Boston area, or whatever that, the east coast of America. And essentially, the holdovers are kids who don't get to go home for their holiday break. So, this is the Christmas break, and there's a bunch of kids, I think 4 or 5 of them, who for some reason or the other are unable to go home to their families. And so they have to stay back in school, and there's one teacher who's assigned the task of looking after them through those 2 weeks. And as things unfold, actually, I think out of those 4 or 5, 3 or 4 are able to actually get away. One of their fathers comes and takes them. So essentially, it ends up being one kid, this boy called Angus Tully, who's played by Dominic Sessa. He ends up staying back, and the teacher who's looking after him is Paul Giamatti, who plays the teacher called Paul Hunnam. And there's a cook who's also stayed back because she is in a
Cheers to cook.
I is that the only reason? It's also because she didn't want to go somewhere because she's grieving
No,
the loss
no.
of
Who
her
would
dad.
feed these two then? Other kids there.
That's true, actually. Yeah,
Hmm.
so maybe that's why she's one of the staff who's asked to stay back. Plus, it so happened that her son has recently died in war, and he was very, very young. He was not even 20. And in some parts, there's a sort of janitor also who pops in from time to time. Basically, it's the three of them. So, what happens over these 2 weeks with the three of them, especially Paul Hunnam, the teacher, and Angus Tully, the student, the young student, who's obviously as we get to know, he's a troubled kid. So, yeah, go ahead, Vishay. What did you think?
Um, so no, as I said, I mean, a very nice story, and the way they've kind of emphasized the fact that while all these kids are from very rich backgrounds, and one would assume that they have perfect lives, as you scrape the top surface, you start to realize that everyone has issues. Um, and yes, though it's a very common theme that we all know about, it was portrayed very well in this movie. Be it the cook or the rich student kid, or even this hoity-toity professor, Paul. But the thing is that I really like Paul, and I've enjoyed him in all his movies. So yes, although earlier I said that this will be unbiased, there is a little bit of bias because I really like him as an actor. And this cook though is tremendously. I mean, she also was in that other TV show, Only
Only
Murders in the
murders.
Building.
Yeah.
Yeah. Though she had a very small role there, but she was very impressive. And I mean, through this movie, though, I think she's established herself as a
Yeah.
great actress. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, has she won any awards? She must have. I don't know.
I think she won the Oscar for Best Supporting
Yeah,
Actress.
I think, note to self, must do research before podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
Mm.
agree with you on all the points. I think the acting was really, I mean, really tremendous. And of course, the direction. And I also really like the setting, actually. It's this, sort of picture perfect New England winter or whatever in the 1970s. It looks very pretty and snowy and simple, and there are no cell phones. There's, this old-fashioned cars. I know there's a bit of, I mean, I'm adding a lot of nostalgia to anything that's old, but, one does that. Um, Imagine how it would have been with everyone holding their own devices and Wi-Fi and all that. So none of that, I think, came in the way, which was lovely. And their clothing and, just simple warm stuff and very I mean, it was a sort of like they say, almost
A simple
deceptively
story,
simple
very well
story.
told.
Simple story, yeah, because a lot of things do come out through the 2 weeks that they spend time together. No character is completely black or white. And in a 1.5 hour movie to bring out those nuances, I think That's real storytelling. I mean, to me, as someone who really enjoys storytelling and, not beating you over the head with what we want to say, but very subtly kind of bringing it out, uh, really nicely done. Both the student and the teacher are very flawed, but they have reasons why they're flawed, and they could be better, and sometimes they choose to be better, and sometimes they choose not to be. So I think, and I think what was sweet also was a little bit of what we think could be a romantic love interest for the professor. Um, but clearly it wasn't, right? So, oh, is that a spoiler? That's okay. So,
We
yeah.
don't think so much.
Okay.
Okay, we don't have to get to technicalities of the characters. But it was an enjoyable movie, very enjoyable. Great Sunday afternoon movie.
Yeah.
Have a nice biryani and a beer, and after that, watch this. You will had a satisfying Sunday afternoon. I think it's about an hour and a half.
About almost
You
2 hours.
can watch it on Geo Cinema for free.
Do you like the Geo Cinema app?
Mm, no.
Okay. No, but it's fine. It's actually got a lot of good stuff. That's what's surprising about your cinema.
Content is good.
Content. But how it pauses
Technology is,
and where you pick it
yeah,
up and all of that is a different thing.
really.
Yeah.
If they would have spent if they could have saved by keeping one less stall at the wedding, they could have invested in the technology of this app. It would have been much better.
Actually, I think they have
You know
enough
what I'm
money to
saying?
do both. They could have enough stalls and invest in the technology. But
Mm.
yeah. Okay, so that's our first review. That was very short and sweet. I think it was easy because we both liked it. Like we have pretty much nothing to
Yes.
fault on this movie. Uh, I do hope everyone in all the characters in the movie have happier lives as they go ahead. But yeah, that's all I have to say about
The
it.
next one we'll do with opposing views.
Okay, that sounds like a great idea. So thank you, Vishay. What
Thank
is
you.
someone listening to it only and not watching? You have to be
What?
audible also. You can't just use sign
The
language.
video's on.
I'm saying, what if someone's only listening?
Oh, thank you, Nidhi.
Yes. And we'll see you soon on the next episode of Vishay and Nidhi Review Stuff. Bye.